What's up, magical humans? Welcome back to the Wizarding World. I'm Mia Magic, and today we are going to be talking about the new moon in Sagittarius full solar eclipse and some ritual ideas that you can implement in your life. I am going to be doing a live ritual, so if you would like to join us for that, please visit miamagic.com. Link is down below in the description. And if that's not for you, here are some ideas for you to practice all on your own. So, first and foremost, let's talk about the little astrological download of what really is going on. When the moon crosses in front of the sun, and from our perspective on Earth, comes literally all the way in front of it to the point where we can't see it, but you can see this absolutely magical, totally wild solar ring around the moon. That is what we call a solar eclipse. So the sun represents like our personality. It gives us life, right? We literally can't survive without it. It creates all of the fuel for the food and it keeps us all alive. Everything on our planet depends on it totally. And so the sun is like outward facing, life-giving, shining, right? What our brilliance is, like who we are as people. That's why when we talk about our astrological signs, like our sun sign, our personality, how we shine out into the world is kind of the main sign that people associate with us. Then our moon, or the moon, controls the tides, right? Controls all of the water on our planet. Controls the water in our bodies as well. Any women who are not on birth control or who are, like not having tons of artificial light around them. Like if you live in a city, it's pretty hard. But if you don't have tons of artificial light around you, the moon will control the tides of your body and your monthly cycles as well. So if the life-giving energy, the like personality, the outward facing, what shines upon us, is being eclipsed, being hidden by our emotions from the perspective of our earthly reality. The earth represents our job, our family, our roots, our ancestors, anything having to do with our physical environment and our physical relationship to earth. So it's career, it's money, it's family, it's the health of our bodies, how we take care of ourselves, how we tend to ourselves. Are we exercising? Are we moving? Are we stagnant? So from the perspective of the earth and our earthly reality, and how fucking crazy has this year been for anyone? Like if anyone could say like, oh no, this year hasn't been crazy at all for me. It's been totally normal. I'm like, what's your quantum secret? And even though like things have gone very well for me, there's still like a lot of unusual energy and some crazy shit's been happening with my friends. And there are obviously like challenges no matter what. I just feel really grateful for how relatively simple and delightful and tolerable the challenges have been in my life this year. However, I know that's not the case for everybody. So we're looking at our earthly reality, jobs, money, finance, all of the stuff that like when small businesses close down, how many people are totally fucked by that, for lack of a better term. And we're watching as our emotions or like the waters are eclipsing that which gives us life. So from my perspective, and again, I always say, you don't have to believe anything that I say. Take everything with a grain of salt. If it doesn't feel right or sit right with you and your soul's like, no, I don't vibe with that, please like feel free to take what you want and leave the rest. I want everyone's magic and relationship to the cosmos and relationship to reality to be empowered and to be driven by their own soul's truth. So from my perspective, the energy or the emotion that is like eclipsing our life-giving frequency is the fear. Look at how much fear has been instilled in each and every one of us just to hug our neighbor or our friends or our sisters or our brothers, to go and spend time with our families. Oh, I can't go and visit my parents because they might die. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, that's for another video. But fear is an emotion. Fear is an energetic experience. It is energy in motion. It is us allowing ourselves to attach to the fear that says, oh, I can't go and do this thing because I might create danger. I might be in danger. I might endanger someone else. So what we've seen this year is a collective cultivation of fear. That is really for our immune systems in general. When we are in fear, when we're in fight or flight, when our nervous system goes into sympathetic, which is like, oh man, there's a lion coming. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, do I run? Do I stay? Do I look it in the eye? What do I do? Like, all of our other systems shut down. in our body. So we're talking about this solar eclipse, right? I promise it's all connected, okay? It's all interwoven and interrelated. We're experiencing this fear, and the worst thing for your immune system is fear. Because when our body goes into that state where our sympathetic nervous system is activated, a lot of our other systems shut down. A lot. The main one being our immune system. It's not trying to fight viruses. It's not trying to fight off disease or bacteria. It's focused on surviving. So if we are in a state of fear, our immune system is pretty much shut down and not functioning. So this is just something to be aware of. I'm not speaking about anyone's beliefs or what they choose. This is just something to be aware of. When we are in a state of fear, our digestion shuts down, our sexual energy, like our sexual reproductive system shuts down, and our immune system shuts down to bring all of our energy towards survival, making sure that we can like run faster or see clearer in order to get ourselves out of whatever the scary situation is. However, if we're in the scary situation perpetually and we don't have any way to get ourselves out, then all of those systems are going to continue being suppressed and shut down in our physical vessel. So we're seeing, right, our life-giving energy, the source of our existence, the source of our light, our life, our nourishment, our vitamins, our nutrients, our minerals is being eclipsed by an energy of fear, by an emotion that is affecting our physical reality, our relationships to our families, our relationships to money, our relationships to the health of our bodies. Has anyone else been to a gym in the last 9 months? Like, I know there's some that are open, but goddess, they're not open in California. Like, my partner's losing his fucking mind. He's like used to just like pushing really big, heavy things and like picking them up and putting them back down. You know, we can't even move our bodies in the same way that we're accustomed to. And some places like nature is shut down. You can't go there, sorry, like no hiking allowed. And so new moons are about planting seeds and about setting intentions. This is like the dark time to put this energy into the fertile soil. It's about like the year is about to end. I personally celebrate New Year around Samhain or Halloween, but this is the Gregorian calendar. This is the collective reality that we've all bought into, subscribed to. So the new year is coming. This is our last new moon of the year, and it's in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, as we talked about last month for the full moon in Gemini, is a centaur. It's the only mystical being in the zodiac. Technically, the Capricorn is sort of too, but people just think of it as a goat. The centaur, it has its 4 legs. It's like earthly, grounded, centered horse, animal, primal, stable foundation in the earthly realms. And then that higher mind, that higher half of the centaur, which became a really funny joke last night. So if I start giggling, please just forgive me. That higher half of the centaur is like the godliness. It's the capacity to communicate. Even though it's like a human, like, come on. Animals are a lot closer to God than we give them credit for, but this half of that mythical creature is the human. That's like, okay, the earthliness, the animal, the primal, and the godliness, the divinity, the capacity to think and create. And it carries a bow. So this is about direct energy, like knowing exactly where you're going, knowing what the most important thing to focus on is. And Sagittarius is all about the higher answers. The way Gemini is about the questions and like studentship and learning, Sagittarius is the professor. This is like, I know why I'm here, and I'm going to live a reality or a life that is such a beautiful continued expansion of the answer to that, of why I'm here, and a celebration of it. Sagittarians love to like party and be wild and free. Like freedom is like their main priority normally. I speak for my mom and all of my best friends who are Sagittarius. So if we have this new moon to plant seeds, to set intentions, to create new patterns in the answers to who we truly are, what our purpose is, what our mission is, like what our direct focus is, what that thing is that we're going to be shooting that arrow at in our lives, like where we're looking, where we're going as that strong foundational earthly energy with the higher mind, with the wisdom, with the capacity to philosophize and be scholarly and think deeply and profoundly. And our entire life-giving energy is being eclipsed by fear, which again, that's my perspective on the emotion that is doing the eclipsing. It's been really prevalent. Like, how many of you, like me, have like families or parents who are like, I don't want you to come home, or I'm afraid of you coming home to be with me. It's like, what? You beg me to come home. I haven't been home in 2 Christmases. And like, you don't want me to come back? Like, what the fuck? So some really beautiful ways that you can honor this new moon are to look at, how are you allowing, and if it's not fear for you, great, but how are you allowing an emotion to eclipse the greatest power in your life? Maybe that's the way that you express yourself, right? Like, this is a great, easy way for me to be in my power, is like, I know I can channel, I'm a Gemini, so like the divine messenger of the gods, like what do the gods want me to say? I got my little antenna on, right? It's like, okay, I can do this. I'm comfortable in front of a camera. I can do this. This is like my power. But are there any ways for you, whatever your power is, whether that's like with herbs or with plants or with spreadsheets or with people, with children, like whatever your power is there a place in your life that a certain emotion, whether that's unworthiness or sadness or fear or anything, is eclipsing your capacity to be in that power? And how can you take that awareness, like, right, this very Sagittarian energy, what can we do with this awareness? What direction do we take now? Look at how this is showing up in your life. What is your power? What emotion is keeping you from shining all the way in terms of creating your earthly reality, your relationships to yourself, to the planet, to your family, to your friends, to your lovers, to anyone? How you treat animals, how you relate to your job, your coworkers, whatever it is. There is something, some emotion will likely have been eclipsing the light, the strongest, like most nourishing energy or power that you possess. And it's showing up in a way in your earthly reality. So this is an opportunity to transform that pattern and plant the seeds to take action, because Sagittarius is a fire sign. Fire is about our action and our willpower, how we step forward. So what actions can you take, or what seeds can you plant in yourself to be able to take the actions that will allow you to live in that power and not be controlled by whatever this emotion is that's been eclipsing your gifts or your capacity to shine? I wish we were like all live right now to get some thumbs up. Like, I know it's a lot. Eclipses are a lot, y'all. However, now I'm not an astrologer. It's a study that takes years. So I'm not going to speak too much to all the other things that are going on. However, Saturn and Jupiter are about to come into what I believe is called a conjunction. I think it's that they're like aligned in the sky. But what I do know is that Jupiter is the great benefic. That is like the planet of luck and expansion, and it rules Sagittarius. So this is going to be an amplifying energy for whatever choices you make, whatever commitments you are willing to step forward into, to be devoted to within yourself, whatever seeds you're going to plant. The fact that that is coming in, and Saturn used to be the dark mother, but Saturn is like very organized, very structured. Because Jupiter is coming into alignment with it, it's like anything that we set our minds to, we are going to have amplified and supported by that expansive, lucky, blessing energy of Jupiter. There's a lot of crazy shit going on astrologically, cosmologically. I think we've all seen that, you know, the Pluto return, and empires always crumble during their Pluto return. It's like, you can't really make this shit up, right? Like, we're down here like, oh, I'm just a little teeny tiny human, and like, here are these giant cosmological forces just influencing my reality in every way. Like, well, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just like fucking go with the flow, because there's not much else you can do. So I would highly recommend this moon. You know, some people say like you don't do manifestations over eclipses. And so I can get down with that. Like, if I'm feeling really called to do manifestations, I kind of just like do them whenever I'm called to do them. And like setting our intentions and planting new seeds is best, so they say, done during a new moon. So if you don't feel like, oh, I don't want to do any manifestations, this is like a fire sign. So that's the transformation, that's the transmutation. That's like, how can I burn this stuff away? This is a great new moon to come into the awareness of what that thing is. Like, what is my greatest power? What's been hindering it or eclipsing it? How is it showing up in my earthly reality? And what choices can I make now? How can I move forward? How can I step forward in a different way to be able to actualize the expression or the manifestation, the fruition of my greatest power, or me being able to shine my light in my earthly reality, in however I decide for that to manifest, whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals, whatever your visions. How can I transform the patterns that are hindering that? And what are the best ways for me to take these steps forward, or honor this energy, or live into and embody my gifts without being controlled or eclipsed by that emotional energy? So any practice around fire, so like anything moving your body, sweating, dancing, shaking, screaming, blah, 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 like just letting it all go, can be really helpful, especially if you've already determined or discovered what the pattern is, or like what the emotion is, and then you can like dance that emotion out. So if it's fear, like dance it out. What does your fear feel like? If it's sadness, what does that look like? Maybe you just want to like hold yourself in a little ball and cry. And if you have an amazing partner like mine, like they can hold you. And if not, maybe call a friend, or like hold yourself. Let that be part of it. It's like, I have the power. I can nourish myself, despite maybe like this could show up in a whole different way of like, oh, I'm judging myself that I'm single, or I'm judging myself that I'm alone, or I feel unworthy or not enough because I don't have someone here to hold me. It's like, no, let's not let ourselves and our transformation, right? Sun, fire, transformation, our earthly reality, our physical environment, our relationships, our body, our health, even of our mind, like anything having to do with our physical reality. Let's not let that judgment or that unworthiness eclipse the power that we have the capacity to touch on and access right now, to embody and bring into our physical reality and our lives. Like, this shit is big, y'all. I know I'm like, da, 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 and it's big. So you can do any type of fiery practice. You can do a write and burn. You can like send energy up into the universe. Like I said, if manifestation during this time is not like right for you, then don't do it, because you don't want to do anything that's not right for you, because then whatever comes from it is going to not be right for you, which I mean, it will be right for you because you're going to learn from it, but you might be under the presumption or the, like preferential perspective that it's not right for you. So that's what I would recommend doing. Figuring out how these 3 things show up in your life, and then taking the action against that pattern's continued manifestation. So maybe that's like having a really powerful conversation with someone that you haven't expressed something to, and you really like feel the need to get it off your chest, and you decide to take a different tact and like communicate really consciously, taking full responsibility for your creation of however that thing has shown up. Hey, this is how this showed up for me. This is the story that I'm making up. This is my perspective on this. How are you feeling? Like, I'd love to hear how that showed up for you. Like, what was on your mind? Da 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 da. Maybe it's just dressing in a way that feels really good to you. Like, I've not pretty much taken off all my little like cashmere sweaters over the last couple days, and I'm not looking really sexy, but I'm just feeling so snuggly and comfortable that like it's actually good for me to rewire the pattern of like, oh, I need to, dress up in my witch clothes, or like look great or feel like a queen in order to be one. It's like, no, I posted about this on Instagram. It's like, I can be resting and feel like a queen. I can be nourishing myself. I can be in my snuggly vibes and feel like a queen. That's okay. I can rewrite that pattern and let this part of my body, or this part of my expression, this part of my earthly reality show up differently, so that there's not just this one frequency. And then if I'm like trying to be in my power, but I'm telling myself I can't be in my power if I'm like dressing snuggly, then like I'm actually disempowering myself, and I'm creating a limitation to my power. If what you want to do is just purge and like walk forward in a new way, great. Notice what the fire is. Notice what the power is. Notice what your gifts are. Notice what emotion or what story has been preventing you from totally living into that, and how that's affected your earthly reality. And then just make choices from the total awareness of all of that, and shift the pattern and the story and the pathway that you're on. That's what will create the transformation. And that's what these eclipse energies and these cycles are for. And because we have the ruling planet, Jupiter of Sagittarius, of this sign of the higher mind, of that mythic beast, that connection of earth and divine, which like it's all one anyways. We wouldn't be here on this absolutely magnificent, spectacular planet if it wasn't divine and part of the divine and like a full goddess in and of herself. That energy, embodying that, how can you be solid and stable in your earthly foundation and exist from your connection to the divine, to the higher answers, to the awareness of your purpose, to what your direction is, like your true north, your North Star, like this is where my life is meant to be going. And how can you just step forward? We're moving into Capricorn season, which is about baby steps towards your mission. So how can you plant these seeds and step forward, transforming the ways that you walk in your life with every single choice you make, with every step you take? You can create any kind of ritual around this. Maybe you want to talk to your inner child. Maybe they need to get angry. Maybe you want to have a rage ritual. Maybe this is like a lusty, passionate, like there's part of you that's been telling yourself that like your sexuality is wrong, like this deep power. We all have this powerful sexual energy inside of us. However it shows up, it can look 1,001 different ways, but maybe there's like a story that you shouldn't be like that. So you haven't been showing up like that. So you're feeling unsatisfied in your sex life. So that means that you just want to like fuck and you want to go wild, or you want to create a sacred sensual experience for yourself or for you and your partner. However it is that's right for you is going to be right in the moment. And I'll show you what some of the things that feel right to me are when we do our ritual on Monday. I was like really planning on going down to the Eclipse festival that was supposed to be happening. I mean, I don't really care about the festival, but I was going to go down to South America and be down there, and you know, things happened and it's crazy, but like I love Patagonia. I'm pretty bummed that I'm not going to be there because I watched the solar eclipse that happened in Oregon a few years ago, and also not from the festival, literally like 10 feet outside of it, because I had like full VIP tickets and the whole thing totally for free. And I just was like, I'd rather just be out in nature and watch this massive cosmological event. And so it was really beautiful, but I heard the festival was dope. Anyways, so I'm a little bummed not to be down in Patagonia, one of my favorite places on the entire planet. It's spectacular. If you guys haven't, like, oh my God, do some Googling, like next level. And yet it feels like we're all where we're supposed to be, because we've got lessons to learn. We've got transformation and like emotions to transcend and be aware of. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment, subscribe, let me know what you're going to be doing for this new moon. I am Mia Magic. Welcome to the Wizarding World.